What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and if you're a massive fan of something, it doesn't matter whether it's Star Wars or comic books like Marvel or DC, or even Lord of the Rings, one of the things that probably drives you crazy is when the people that are creating these things for the entertainment space, whether it's a TV show or a movie, when they don't follow the source material, when they decide to go ahead and do their own thing, whether it's because of identity politics reasons to virtue signal, whether it's because they're just lazy, or whether they just don't care. It pisses people off when you do that, especially when you let everyone know right up front that you don't give a shit about that thing, that you're gonna do whatever you want regardless of whatever came before. And what John Cena recently revealed in an interview about how him and James Gunn went about approaching the character of Peacemaker might piss some people off for just that reason. John Cena did not research Peacemaker at the behest of James Gunn. And we're going to listen to this snippet. We're going to listen to this interview from John Cena where he talks about his approach to the character and says he was willing to read. He was willing to go pick up every single comic, every single thing that Peacemaker was a part of and study it and learn all about the character. And James Gunn said no, because he wanted to do his own thing. And in fact, he didn't want John Cena to be influenced by the people that created this character, by the people that wrote Peacemaker for years, by the people who actually created him. So if you were a fan of this character, that might be one of the most frustrating things you could possibly hear, because then it shows that they have no care about the source material. They have no care about where these characters came from. All they care about is using a name, a brand name, an IP to continue to shove stuff down your throat that doesn't represent what it was originally supposed to represent. Let's get into this from Bounding Into Comics. HBO Max Peacemaker has unsurprisingly little to do with the source material put out by Charlton and DC that preceded it. And there's a huge reason why the adult-oriented spin goes in its own direction. The reason is the driving force behind the series, the Suicide Squad writer and director James Gunn, who did not want his star John Cena digging through back issues for inspiration. And in terms of the Suicide Squad itself as a movie, I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was excellent or incredible or anything like that, but I didn't think it was like a dumpster fire necessarily. I don't know if I ever really want to rewatch it again, but I thought it was fine. As for Peacemaker, I watched one episode and I said, you know what? I really don't think this is for me. Now, I've heard a lot of people say good things about it since then, but I just haven't really gone back. And now knowing this, I probably won't. Let's listen to the question and then John Cena's answer.
This person from the community asked.
The streets are talking. What are they saying? What's the word out there? What do people want to know? I have no answers, and I will just spew misinformation.
This person asked, Mr. Cena, have you read any comics with Peacemaker, be it before or after the release of the Suicide Squad and or during the production of Peacemaker? Or did you approach the role as Mr. Gunn wrote it and directed you to play it?
So that's a great question. I'm going to give you the answer first, to which you will have an emotional response. Then I'm going to give you my why. The answer is no. I did not read any comics before or during production. I'll allow you to emote.
Well, even just that he puts that in there, that he says, you know, you're going to have an emotional reaction. He knows that people won't like that. That people won't like that inherently, that he didn't read all the source material surrounding Peacemaker.
Here is my why. Because the very first thing I did when I got the job, I shook James Gunn's hand and said, do you want me to get every comic or periodical or anything about Peacemaker and study up? And he's like, no. The reason I've chosen Peacemaker is because many different artists have given different interpretations of Peacemaker. So it's kind of up. This is a great character because it's up to us to craft it. And I think James's depiction of Peacemaker, like everything he does, it stays true to the art, the crazy silver toilet bowl helmet, the enormous desert eagle. So like it's true to form, but he wanted the ability to be able to tell the story, and a lot of it was kind of like decisions made in the heat of the moment. You know, he's a douchey, broy Captain America. That I never would have got that from the comics.
Yeah.
You never would have got that from the comics because that's not really who he is. A douchey, broy Captain America, right? So instead of, I don't know, is this outlandish to me? Is this crazy for me to ask that maybe when people are doing these movies, whether it's DC or Marvel, that you could create your own character, that you could actually do that? You could create a character, you could create a hero that doesn't have some history in like the Silver Age of comics, that you don't need to bastardize, that you don't need to turn into something that they are not. That is insane to me. And I understand that the character of Peacemaker is not someone like Superman or Batman that has, this super long and legendary, storied history with tons of people all over the place that know who that character is. But it really shouldn't make a difference. The fact that he didn't want him to do any research, he could have said, you know what, mine is going to be inspired from these specific runs of Peacemaker. I would love for you to read these issues. That's something he could have done. And he said, maybe we'll expound on it a little bit. But no, I don't want you to read anything because I don't want you to be influenced by all of the ways he was portrayed before, because we're basically just going to do our own thing. How frustrating may that be if you were somebody who liked this character? If you were someone who wrote this character, how frustrating would that be? And they do go on here. And as such, Cena did not read any comics before or during production. These are all the quotes. James Gunn obviously kept some things such as the costume, the Dove of Peace logo, the absurdly long handgun, and unmistakable helmet, which is often compared to a toilet bowl. But Gunn also likes to inject his R-rated brand of meta humor, and often to the detriment of the material. In the HBO Max series, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker is another flawed and insecure wannabe hero with daddy issues in over his head. He's Peter Quill for mature audiences. Paul Kupperberg gave the Zero Age hero a dark past when DC acquired and relaunched him, but you could still take the stories seriously. During Charlton days under Pat Boyette and Joe Gill, more importantly, Christopher Smith didn't possess an urge to kill in order to keep peace. He reserved the use of force under the pretense of superheroics, but his means and ordinance were non-lethal. And that's what we got from James Gunn, exactly what he wanted to do. And I don't know, maybe there's some people that are okay with that. Maybe there's some people watching that are completely fine if they just ignore everything that's ever happened in the comics, don't even look at it for a reference point, and just do their own thing with it. I personally, if you're gonna take something from the comics, then do it. Take it from the comics. Don't just take it in name only. Don't just take a costume and then completely bastardize everything else to do with this character. That seems insane to me. Maybe the idea of creating your own character, your own original character, is crazy. But I don't know. That's just me. Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.